Human trafficking has been a product of bad border policies. I have a quote from Shisty and Pierce, the article Border Deja Vu, that says, the fastest rate of increase in arrivals of unaccompanied children on record, with nearly 5,700 arriving in January, just under 9,300 in February, and possibly more than 17,000 in March. This pace of arrivals has created the perception of both an out of control border and a heart-wrenching humanitarian emergency. That was a quote from 2021. Immigrants are a part of our everyday life here in the United States. And this speech explains why they come, how some contribute, and how others exploit the system, but most importantly, why border security is so important. Understanding immigration helps explain population growth, economic activity, and cultural diversity in the United States. But most importantly, why border security matters. My name is Horatio Urieta, and this is Border Security. How many people do you guys believe are currently in the United States that are immigrants? Anyone want to take a wild guess? I have a quote from Jean Batlova from her article, Frequently Requested Statistics on Immigrants and Immigration in the United States. It says that 50.2 million immigrants live in the United States, the highest number in US history. This was an article from 2026. There are many reasons why people leave their home countries to come to any other country. We see a large population come to the United States because of the way of life we have here, right? But we see reasons like maybe economic reasons, opportunities. Sometimes they have family over here, right? And sometimes people leave certain countries because of persecution. And we understand that not everything is going to be the ideal situation for the everyday immigrant. But currently, right now in Southern California, we actually have a large group of people that are Latin-based, and that has definitely changed the culture around here. There's a lot of we see a lot of Mexican food. We see people celebrate a lot of Mexican Independence Day and things like that. That just tells us that immigration it can be a good thing for the economy, but legal immigration it's a good thing. Okay. I know that currently we have a lot of immigrants contributing to the country. As I mentioned, right here in Southern California, there's a large population of Latin Americans. I personally have came from immigrant parents, and so although we have been letting a lot of people come over, there's a lot of bad stuff that happens through that time. We see how human trafficking can affect kids. The first quote that I mentioned to you guys, there was over 30,000 kids that were unaccompanied children that came into the nation. And so these are things that we don't think about or that we don't see, but there are kids literally being trafficked through our border because of our border policies. And this is something that's very important, especially for those kids that have been affected for this, with this. But we saw that during the Biden administration, there was a lot of people coming into the nation, and again, immigration is a good thing. We see stuff around in Southern California, but we see how they can contribute to the economy. There's a lot of great people. My parents again were immigrants, but at what cost do we let this continue on? These kids are suffering and in traffic, and sometimes we don't even know where these kids go. But that's something very important to think about. And as I mentioned, I had parents that were immigrants, and I can, from firsthand experience, see that and tell you that my mother was a great immigrant. She did come in here illegally. She was a great immigrant. She worked very hard. I know that she was working under another name, right? It's illegal. And so she was doing stuff that wasn't right. And fortunately enough, I joined the military. I helped her get her papers, and it was great. She can go back and forth to Mexico, and it's really awesome. The system really worked out for us. But on the other hand, I had my father who came into this country and was also doing illegal stuff. He was selling drugs. He wasn't a net positive for the society. And so just with those examples, right, we can see how my mom came in here and she was and still illegally, but a very good citizen. And then we had my father come and was a bad citizen, right? However, both of them were still bad things that occurred, right? My mom shouldn't have been doing those things, but we understand why she came and the sacrifices that they made, and I understand that too, right? We can have sympathy, but that's just a real life example that I can give you guys so that you understand that immigration, even though or illegal immigration, even though some people come and are good and are positive, they're still breaking the law, right? And the cost of that is that some kids are being trafficked through that system, and so and I just to kind of finish this off with this example, we actually have another quote. It's from Heidi Bludau. It's from the article "Aging Societies Rely on Immigrants, Healthcare Workers Posing Challenges for Origin Countries." It says that immigrants contribute to many sectors of society. For example, the United States hosts about 40% of the world's migrant physicians, showing the role in the healthcare system. And that's great. We see how legal immigration can help the United States in that example, and also the people, right? And so we know that immigration isn't a bad thing, right? But it's the difference between illegal immigration and legal immigration that can differentiate these two things. And so I want to finish up with this. Immigration is a global phenomenon involving millions of people. It influences economies, social and historical factors, and contributing to a different area of society. And legal immigration is a good thing. Immigration in general has its pros, but having a strong border that can limit the amount of human trafficking that occurs, while border security isn't enforced, it's really important, right, that we're able to keep border security stable and limit the amount of children being trafficked through this nation. Thank you.